Hello, welcome to this update. Let's just see what's happening today, parts of the U.S. and Canada. So we still have this marginal risk today for severe weather, parts of West Virginia, Kentucky and Tennessee, even like Virginia. So let's see. There's a 5% wind threat for some storms with some gusty winds. Hail threat a smaller 5% in parts of Western Virginia and Tennessee and Kentucky. Tornado threat less than 2%, so let's see. Strong to locally severe thunderstorms possible mainly this evening across parts of central southern Appalachians and Tennessee Valley. Isolated wind damage and marginally severe hail should be the main threats, so nothing crazy. Just be aware of some stronger storms there, severe. Tomorrow shows the possibility of a storm or two near the Great Lakes and parts of Arizona, especially like Utah and Colorado. Later shows maybe a storm or two near Kentucky, parts of West Virginia and Ohio, and Indiana shows still a storm or two in the Four Corners for day 3. So nothing crazy, be aware. Fires just elevated today, parts of Oklahoma, Texas, and like Arizona and Utah and Nevada as well. So nothing crazy, just be aware. It shows the weather map, some mixed precipitation, parts of the northeast and the north today. And like tomorrow shows still some mixed precipitation. Even the Rockies, parts of the northeast and the north, some rain. Day 3 already shows some snow in the northwest, more mixed precipitation in the northeast in some areas. Let's see. Rainfall shows some rain today from the storms there. In the parts of the northeast, more rain as well, and some in Florida. And let's see. Tomorrow, still some rain. Parts of the north and the northwest. Day 3, more across the northwest and some on the east still. Day 4, this is Wednesday, heavy rain parts of Washington, the northwest, and even the northeast, some showers in Louisiana, Texas, some rain. For Thursday, shows more rain across the northwest and parts of the south, but mainly like Texas. And then the next Friday, shows a lot of rain near the plains, maybe some severe weather, and more rain in the Rockies there and some snow in the northwest. Day 7 shows still more rain in Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Washington and Oregon, and parts of Florida, some rain too. Day 1 through 7 shows a lot in the northwest, be careful there, and a lot in not a lot, but some in parts of the plains and the northeast. And southeastern Florida should get more. Excessive rainfall shows a still marginal in southeastern Florida. Today Sunday, be aware. Tomorrow nothing yet, nothing. Day 4 and day 5, so still nothing there. So snowfall doesn't show anything crazy today here. Tomorrow shows more up north in Quebec, but in New York only shows a tiny hint of probability. Day 3, nothing crazy. Maybe still in parts of Canada, but like day 4 shows more probabilities across Washington, Oregon, parts of Idaho in some areas. Even New York still shows a little bit, some slight probabilities. Day 5 shows more across parts of like Wyoming, all the way into Washington and Oregon, and the northeast is quiet already. Day 6 more in the Rockies, and day 7 still some in the Rockies and northwest. So be aware. They have this light here for heavy snow potential. Let's see. This for Tuesday shows us light in New York there. Next Tuesday shows a lot in eastern Quebec, but some in Maine there. So we'll keep watching that. And this is Tuesday, but after that on Wednesday we'll have the heavier snow like in the northwestern US there. So let's see. There's still the temperatures in the hundreds in parts of Texas and southern Arizona, so be careful with the heat still in the south, and some maximum temperatures of some 50s in the north. And like tonight into tomorrow shows like, let's see, in the north there, like even some 20s Fahrenheit in parts of North Dakota, even Nebraska some low 30s, some 20s in South Dakota, so be aware, so some very cold temperatures there. Might be like some frost advisories and some colder wind chill there. Alright, so be aware. Northern Michigan, very cold. Parts of the mountains of Oregon, even California, and the northeast, so be aware. For Monday, during the afternoon, shows some maximum temperatures of 90s, 97 in like Texas, 99 in Arizona, and some 80s in Florida. But you can see this like sharp boundary here with the cold air further north, warmer there. It shows some maximum temperatures of like 47 Fahrenheit in northern New York and some areas. So imagine at night. Let's see from Monday to Tuesday, mainly like in the morning, shows some 25 Fahrenheit possibly. This is just a forecast, but shows like 27, 29, 25 Fahrenheit parts of North Dakota. Minnesota, some 30s Fahrenheit, some 20s, and like some 30s in parts of Iowa, Nebraska, even the Rockies, Central Rockies, and Wyoming too, and some mountains of Oregon. And the Northeast, some 30s Fahrenheit there, but very cold in the northern plains there, so be aware. Tuesday during the day shows some, let's see here, shows some 40s and 50s maximum there, some 90s in the south, yeah, and southwest, even Florida, like some 80s, yes, some 80s, so be aware. And then Tuesday into Wednesday during the night, like early morning, shows here still some 30s in parts of Wisconsin. There might be some like 20s, 24, 25 Fahrenheit in Wisconsin, some 30s there, some 30s in Missouri too, parts of Kansas, some 40s in Oklahoma, the minimum temperatures. Colder across the Rockies and parts of the west as well, some 30s in the northeast, so be aware of those colder temperatures. Wednesday during the day shows like some, let's see, some 60s, 40s in the northwest, right, if that's system there. So like some 40s in the northeast, the maximum temperature, some 90s in the southwest, some 80s, and then from Wednesday to Thursday we start getting the system on the west, potentially some 20s Fahrenheit in parts of Oregon, and even like there's some white areas there, potentially like some low 20s into Montana, especially in the mountains. Outside the mountains, a little bit better, but mainly the mountains, some very cold across the northwest, and the northeast still cold. The Appalachians, some 30s, some 30s in the northeast, so be aware of the cold still. Thursday during the day still shows cold across the west during the day on Thursday. So like in the northwest, you can see those mountains there, so like 50s, 40s, even like high 30s Fahrenheit in those mountains, even during the day, so be aware. Some 90s in Southern California and in Arizona and other areas, so be aware. And the next night, from like Thursday to Friday morning shows like very cold across the west, some 20s, even 20 Fahrenheit, 38, like 25 Fahrenheit, across the west, so be aware of that big system coming. This forecast will still change, but be aware. This is mainly during the morning, but many people work in the morning, so be aware. But it's like 3, 5 a.m., but yeah, warm up your home and everything. And then let's see, show some 30s in the Appalachians in the northeast, so yeah, be aware. And like, let's just go a little bit closer here to like the northwest for Friday morning. This like next Friday morning. Let's see here. So it shows even some 14 Fahrenheit, 20, 24, 23. So some very cold temperatures there. And like day 6 during the day for Friday during the afternoon, it warms up to like 54 Fahrenheit in the low elevations, but high elevations still remain at 40 Fahrenheit, like 30, even 20 in the higher Rockies there. And day 6, Friday night to Saturday, still shows like some 14s, 13s Fahrenheit, so very low temperatures. Wyoming, Utah, and those areas there, so be aware. let's see the whole area again here. So it shows those very cold temperatures in the west. They're like very cold. So be aware. In the northeast, still some high 30s there or something. So be aware. Then I didn't show like Friday during the day for everywhere. Some 80s in southern Florida, some 85, 70s. So be aware. Then like Saturday during the day, nothing crazy. Shows just some like still colder in the west, some 80s across the southwest, southeast. So yeah, nothing that crazy. So be aware. And then like the max wind gusts for Sunday today shows in the Great Lakes and maybe gusty winds in the Appalachians and maybe Southern California, gusty wind or two in the mountains and some areas, but nothing that crazy. So let's see here. Maybe for like some snow next week. So like here. Good. So let's see. This is the GFS. Let's go to like if this works here. The 0C. Let's see if it works here. So this is until the 24th. So it shows like that snow across the west there. More some in the northeast in Maine. Shows a lot of snow in Colorado and the Rockies, especially only the mountains there. Shows more Wyoming and many areas. So, but this is kind of far out. Let's go back to like the 20th next Sunday. So until next Sunday, the GFS already showing a lot in the maybe the Cascades, but especially in the Rockies, it's showing more. The European model shows like some here. Let's see. Shows a little bit less, but shows more snow there. Parts of the Rockies in Colorado, even northernmost New Mexico shows more parts of Wyoming and those areas. Shows some in Washington, but that doesn't show as much in Oregon. Some in Montana there, but it shows a lot further north in British Columbia, and even parts of eastern Quebec shows a lot, and northern New York still shows some snow. So let's see maybe the Canadian model to have many ideas. So here it's taking a little bit to load. So it shows closer to the GFS, a lot in like southwestern Colorado too, more in Utah, some in Arizona shows a little bit of snow, a lot in parts of British Columbia, into Alberta, but especially like shows in eastern Quebec some more, a tiny hint in northern Maine there, some in northern New York, but nothing crazy. Even West Virginia showing a little bit there, and then yeah, so there's the icon too. It only goes out to like 180 hours. So let's see if it loads. The icon also showing a lot in the Rockies, like in Colorado, Wyoming, and some areas there. So be aware. Northern New York is also showing Maine, northwestern Maine. So yeah, even the Sierra Nevada. So be aware. And let's see, we have some freeze watches there. Parts of Nebraska, freeze warnings. Further north, North Dakota, Minnesota for those low temperatures. So be aware there. And some other stuff. Winter storm warning, northern Alaska still, and some high surf advisories in like mostly the eastern facing shores of Hawaii. So be aware. In Canada, we still have some warnings in parts of British Columbia for rainfall because of that system on the coast there. We have like in New Brunswick some frost advisories during the night. Northwestern Territory some like freezing rain, even and some wind. In Quebec some special weather statement and frost advisories there in Quebec. So let's see, this is the kind of Yukon, some freezing rain warnings. Patchy freezing rain is expected to develop early this morning and by mid-morning, so I think it's alright in mid-morning there, but not sure. And there's like some frost advisories in Quebec and New Brunswick, so be aware. we have that strong system, British Columbia, some heavy rain there, and like some snow in the mountains with southern Alaska, some snow, and then shows into Yukon, maybe some snow on Monday. System very special, like next Wednesday, the 16th, another system, and shows that snow into Alberta, Manitoba, showing more snow there, and the GFS was really like kicking with that snow, like North America here, like let's see snow depth maybe. So shows like Tuesday, Wednesday, this like 24 hours, but start showing like more snow in eastern Quebec, parts of Labrador. It shows that snow like building in Alberta, British Columbia, from that system in the west there, but this easier to see like here. So the snow accumulation from all the days, like the GFS is more snow throughout Saskatchewan, some greater amounts there in Alberta, and British Columbia has a lot too throughout southern Alaska, and then it has that snow in Quebec there. I showed you in Labrador, some like 30 centimeters, 25 centimeters, so even southern Quebec some 28 centimeters, into like Vermont, Maine, and some other areas, some snow in the north. So beware, southwestern Ontario has some, but nothing crazy. The GFS even has in Wisconsin some snow there. The European has like a little bit less, but it has like in southern Quebec more as well. And it has that snow in the Rockies there, and more snow throughout British Columbia, many areas of Alaska too, northern Alaska, some more snow, those winter storm warnings, and like into parts of Nunavut and Northwestern Territories, some more snow, so be aware. There's the icon, shows the snow there in Quebec, a little bit heavier, into like in Ontario, shows a little bit as well, and parts of Nunavut, northern Manitoba, northern Saskatchewan, show some snow as well. So be aware those areas, and like, yeah, let's see. It shows like the GFS shows that snow there, like next Thursday into Friday. The system to Nunavut shows another system next Friday, like in Saskatchewan, goes into Nunavut, and the European might have a little bit different, has a big low pressure near Alaska there, and then the snow northern Nunavut. He has the systems on the west, the snow parts of British Columbia, in Northwestern Territories, and other areas, and has next Friday some bigger snow into like Nunavut in some areas. It has next Friday the 18th more snow down to the Rockies, like in Utah and Colorado. And it has that cold front in the plains next Saturday, the 19th. Potentially some severe weather. So let's see. Here, like next Saturday has the snow in Colorado, so that cold front in the plains. There might be or there might not be severe weather, but we'll see. And here you can see the powerful low pressure spinning near Alaska there. And let's see, maybe some, is this wind gusts? Yes, good. So show like today some gusty winds near Nunavut and Northwestern Territories already. And even in Alaska there's like some 92 km per gust. And then the low pressure keeps spinning. The parts of the Aleutian Islands are getting some big winds, and then we'll have some other seats in the southern Aleutian Islands like Tuesday and later there. And now we have some gusty winds near northern Nova Scotia, near like Newfoundland, some gusty winds, and near Minnesota, like a little bit stronger winds too. Then it shows into like uh, the Great Lakes, maybe some gusty winds on Monday, into like Pennsylvania, New York, some stronger winds later, like show like on Monday some 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts near New York, New Jersey, some 40, 45 mile per hour gusts. Nothing crazy, but be aware. And then shows those very strong winds like in those straits there in Quebec on like Tuesday the 15th, so be aware. And then later we start getting the system on the west. The winds like emerge in the mountains, some gusty winds throughout the plains, but nothing crazy. It's still Wednesday. Thursday shows the stronger winds building parts of the mountains in southern Alberta, parts of British Columbia, to Montana. There's some stronger winds, and then like to Washington shows a little bit stronger, but nothing crazy. And then later on Thursday, keeps building there in Montana, shows like mainly the mountains, some 54-mile-per-hour gusts, and still in the plains in South Dakota, show like some 45-mile-per-hour gusts. This keeps going, nothing crazy, but like in the southern Rockies, central Rockies, show like some 44 mile-per-hour gusts. We have that snow in the Rockies next Friday, so maybe the gusty winds in the mix. Some gusty winds on the plains, maybe the Rockies still next Friday into next Saturday, and still shows like some gusty winds Wyoming next Sunday, the 20th. So be aware those areas, and then like start showing some stronger winds in northern central Nunavut in Hudson Bay, like Wednesday, and really kicks up those winds like in Nunavut there, like around next Friday the 18th in Hudson Bay. Like the European has a big system next Saturday around Northwestern Territories, so like 70 kilometer per gusts, and more areas there, and eventually goes near Quebec and some areas. And then later, like Monday the 21st, there's another system approaching the west there. But it's like 1 week or 2 weeks out, so we have time to monitor. But it already shows strong winds near like Wyoming and parts of Idaho on Tuesday the 22nd, especially Montana, southern Alberta, British Columbia, shows some stronger winds in the Cascades too. So yeah, but that's 1 week out. We'll take a look later, but be aware those areas. The snow again doesn't show as much in southern Alaska, but shows a little bit in the islands there, and later we might have more season like in northern Alaska until the 22nd. So be aware. And like the European snow accumulations, better put this like in inches. So let's see, for next Friday and next Saturday, showing the Rockies some 5 inches of snow, some 4 to 5 inches, 2 inches. So nothing crazy, but like shows more in Washington, like some 14 inches, 18 inches of snow. So be aware. The GFS has more in the Rockies. The GFS like 35 inches of snow or more. The Icon has like a little bit more, close to 21 inches. So yeah, we'll keep monitoring that, but nothing that crazy for now. And be aware there. Maybe here in this model we get like the whole for the whole area here, like here. So it shows today Sunday the 13th, some a lot of heavy, not heavy, but yeah, there might be heavy rain, but more rain across like Wisconsin, Michigan. Shows maybe a storm or two in Florida, but mainly down south in the Bahamas, some more storms, and shows some more rain in the northeast, especially to Maine there, and like New Hampshire shows those potentially severe storms near West Virginia, Pennsylvania this afternoon, even a storm or two in New York. Shows more in Kentucky, a storm or two, some more rain into southwestern Ontario, parts of Minnesota, so be aware there. And maybe tomorrow afternoon, Monday, a storm or two like in Utah and some areas there. And you see like Monday, tomorrow, the rain keeps going through the northeast into like Quebec with some heavy rain there. And potentially some more in the Great Lakes. Some temperatures like are showing still very cold because like parts of Nunavut and Manitoba, some -1, 0 degrees, especially like northern Labrador and Quebec, some -8 at night. In the Arctic area, some -10, even like further north. And but in Alaska, cadets really starting to show some very low minus 21 Celsius temperatures. Even later through the night and everything, show some minus 26 in Alaska, minus 16. That in Fahrenheit it will be some 3 minus 10 Fahrenheit, minus 11 Fahrenheit. So very cold in Alaska, right? Be aware. Even parts of Yukon, some minus 2 Fahrenheit, and let's see here this, some minus 18 Celsius, and then northern British Columbia, negative temperatures, and in the afternoon warms up a little bit, southern Alberta gets all the way to 24 degrees Celsius on Tuesday, but it gets cold again, central Ontario, some minus 3, like very cold in northern Labrador still, minus 9 throughout central eastern Ontario, Quebec, so lower temperatures, so be aware. And let's see, Thursday, some very cold temperatures in Yukon, Northwestern Territories, in the northwest there, and yeah, so be aware. And Friday, the 18th, starting to show Yukon, some minus 23 degrees Celsius, Northwest Territories, minus 22. Some very high mountains that show minus 23 degrees. So very cold temperatures coming. Just later on Friday, the 18th, show some minus 26 in Yukon there. So be aware, those very cold temperatures coming. And later to Northwestern Territories. And this next Sunday, the 20th, shows negative temperatures across most of Saskatchewan, northern British Columbia is all the way down to minus 21 Celsius, and parts of Manitoba, some minus 4. So very cold temperatures in those areas already. Stay warm.